Why does your blended family look picture perfect in photos, yet the moment the kids are together, it feels like chaos? The Instagram smiles are real, the Christmas cards are beautiful, but behind closed doors, it can feel like World War III over a gaming controller. One minute you're celebrating a new start, the next you're breaking up fights and wondering if you've made a huge mistake. If you've ever felt like the referee in a game you didn't sign up for, stay with me. In this video, I'm going to give you practical strategies grounded in faith, research, and years of counseling conversations that will help you step out of the referee role and into the coach's role. You are exhausted. You found someone who makes your heart steady again. You got through the wedding, the photos look amazing, and for a moment you thought, we did it. We're finally a family. But then reality sets in. The second all the kids are in one room, the volume skyrockets. A simple question about whose turn it is on the Xbox turns into yelling, slamming doors, or a full-on UFC fight in the living room. And you're left standing there thinking, how did this escalate so fast? You're not imagining it. The Step Family Foundation says it often takes 5 to 7 years for blended families to truly blend. Yet most parents burn out in the first 18 months because they expect instant harmony. That expectation sets everyone up for disappointment. These kids, they didn't grow up together, and suddenly we call them siblings and expect them to bond on demand. Conflict is normal here. It doesn't make you a bad parent. It makes you human. So instead of guilt, practice self-compassion. Research shows that simple self-kindness lowers stress levels in minutes. You're not failing. You're just adjusting in one of the hardest family structures there is. Quick question for you. When do you feel tension spike most? In the mornings, around dinner, or during screen time battles? Drop it in the comments below. Naming your stress points helps you see the patterns. Respect beats forced friendship. Hollywood sells us the dream. Kids holding hands, skipping to the bus stop, laughing like lifelong friends. But in blended families, that dream usually backfires. And why is that? Every friendship is voluntary. Respect, on the other hand, that's required. When you shift your goal from friendship to respect, you lower the pressure in your home. No more forcing hugs, no more demanding instant closeness, just basic kindness and how we treat each other. And here's the surprising thing. When kids aren't pressured to love each other, fights actually decrease. So, how do you build respect? Model it first. If you want calm voices, then you speak calmly. Even when cereal's flying, label the moment. Instead of blame, say, I see two people who both want the controller. That pulls judgment right out of it. Then offer two choices. First person to grab the timer sets it, or we swap every 10 minutes. That restores control without you being the dictator. This doesn't mean you'll see group hugs, but you will see more stability. And in blended families, respect is the soil where connection eventually grows. Coach, don't referee. A referee blows the whistle, hands out a penalty, and walks away. That's what happens when you say, stop yelling or you'll lose screen time. The problem? The kids just turn their frustration towards you. A coach, though, stays in the game. Coaches teach skills, they give feedback, and prepare players for the next play. And that's your new role. So when the next fight breaks out, try this. Separate them briefly, 30 seconds. Let the adrenaline come down. Bring them back and ask, what do you need right now to feel heard? Or what word could you use instead of stupid next time? Listen, don't rush. Science tells us that it takes about 90 seconds for a child's brain to shift from fight or flight into problem solving. The goal here isn't 0 fights. The goal is shorter fights that end with a lesson learned. Coaching prepares your kids with conflict skills they'll use for the rest of their lives. Have you been more of a referee or a coach lately? In the comments below, write ref or coach. I'd like to see where most of us land. Now, let's talk about you. If your tank is empty, your kids will fill it. Emotional exhaustion spreads through the whole house. That's why I push for micro self-care, not spa weekends, more like 5-minute resets. You can run warm water over your wrists and do a 4, 7, 8 breath cycle. You can text a friend, "I'm surviving, not thriving," and ask for a 5-minute voice note back. You can schedule one off-duty evening a week, even if all you do is sit in the car and listen to a podcast. These micro moments keep you sane enough to show up the way you want to. And yes, counseling counts as self-care too. Sometimes having a safe space to process is the relief that you need. Here's a mistake I see often. Parents over-focus on group bonding before the one-on-one foundation is built. So group trips, family game nights, good ideas, but they can flop if individual trust isn't there. Aim instead for 10 minutes per day per child. The child picks the activity and you match their energy. If Mason wants to explain every Pokemon evolution card, you act like it's a Netflix special. That 10 minutes fills their attention tank. And when talks are full, they don't need to pick fights to feel noticed. Research shows families who try see about a 40% drop in tattling and sibling fights in just 2 months. That's a huge payoff for a small daily habit. Sometimes, even with every strategy, the conflict feels bigger than you can handle. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're wise enough to call in help. If fights leave physical marks, if threats of self-harm pop up, or if you and your partner are fighting more about parenting than anything else, it's time. Remember, even professional athletes hire coaches. They're not admitting defeat. You're investing in the championship of your family. So, when the house erupts, here are your 3 anchors. Aim for respect, not forced friendship. Step in as a coach, not a referee, and make micro self-care a daily priority. You're not failing. You're pioneering a new family culture. One hard day, one small victory, and one choice at a time. Now, I'd like to hear from you. What's the one behavior that pushes your buttons the fastest? Drop it in the comments below. And if this spoke to you, hit the like so more parents can find it, subscribe for weekly tools, and share it with step parents you know who says we're fine, but is secretly searching how to survive blended family fights at like 2 a.m. The war isn't permanent. Peace is possible. One respectful choice, one coached moment, one breath at a time.